Welcome to this July 4th Vort. On this July 4th, it's worth noting that in this week's Parsha, Torah tells us that Moshe Rabbeinu is beginning the process of transferring the leadership, the mantle of leadership from himself, Moshe, to Yehoshua. And Moshe Rabbeinu Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu to place his hands to do a smichas yadayim, a public ceremony which will confer the leadership and show that the leadership is passed with Hashem's approval to the new generation. And in fact, that is what happens. But when the Torah records what Moshe actually does, it says that not only did he place his hand as Hashem commanded, but Hashem but he placed his hands in the plural. He did more than the Ribono Shel Olam actually requested of him. And the Medrash notes this anomaly and comments on this and basically makes the point that Moshe Rabbeinu did what he had to do, not in a minimalist kind of way, but rather bituv ayin. He did it wholeheartedly with genuine commitment, and he did it to the best of his capability. And this is, I think, a very important message that Moshe Rabbeinu did bituv ayin, that the Medrash is saying, something which actually came at his own personal expense. It was for the good of Klal Yisrael. It was good for the future of the Jewish people, but really it was at his own expense. For in fact, Moshe Rabbeinu had to step aside and relinquish power such that the next generation and the future of Klal Yisrael could succeed. When it comes to serving the greater good, when it comes to serving Klal Yisrael and the community as a whole, the challenge that Moshe puts forward for us is to put our personal biases and our selfish needs aside and do what needs to be done for the greater good. And on this July 4th, I think it is worth noting a great Jewish American patriot by the name of Mordechai Shaftel, who was one of many revolutionary patriots who was Jewish and who played a significant role in the revolution. He was appointed as the responsible party, the commissary general, responsible for Georgia and South Carolina for the Continental troops, and he did his duty with tuv ayin, with extraordinary generosity of spirit and in a wholehearted way. Because when the Continental Congress was broke, he took his own money and he used it to fund and support the troops that were under his guard. And he ran into financial ruin as a consequence. So when it comes, but nevertheless, his commitment was for a greater good, was for a greater good for the inhabitants of what was the colonial settlement before the United States, and helped to establish a country that has provided life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness to all of its citizens. And that has had an impact for millions and millions, not the least of which, but for us, perhaps maybe the most important, is the opportunity for us as Torah observant Jews, as a Jewish community, to live and to thrive. And it all comes down to individuals acting bituv ayin. Kadosh Baruch Hu bless us on this July 4th to remember the moniker, the challenge of Moshe Rabbeinu, the model of Mordechai Shaftel, to always act to the best of our capabilities bituv ayin. Enjoy the day.